Good morning and welcome to Between the Covers. I'm your host, Jeffrey Oreo, and I thank you for your time and your ear. Today's reading is from the book Low Men by Grantham Hayes. Frank's inspection of his company's virtual reality world quickly turned to tedium. He paused the program, the omnidirectional treadmill whirred to a stop. He pulled off his headset and rubbed his eyes. The burnt smell of overworked electronics hung in the air of the small, dimly lit, windowless room hidden high up within the bowels of his downtown office building. Jonas, the lead programmer, had insisted Frank have a look at the recent updates. Jonas had never let him down, but the man's enthusiasm for every little detail had grown tiring. Frank's inclination to indulge him waned. In order to assuage his boredom, he decided he might pay a visit to the more interesting part of his virtual city. Frank sighed, finished his scotch, then slid the headset back over his face. The VR world sprang to life as he walked on the treadmill, the adrenaline surge rising in anticipation of what was about to come. After a short walk, his avatar stopped in front of one building that stood out from the others. From within, techno music blared among a flashing blend of red and orange lights. Frank approached the door, and two overly muscled doormen stepped into his path. "Not tonight, Frank," one said. "We don't want any trouble," the other said. Frank put his hands out and shrugged. The shiny suit of his avatar glimmered as the lights reflected. "Hey, guys, come on," he said with a mimic of Italian. He enjoyed trying to sound mob boss-like, but couldn't quite pull it off. They both stood their ground. Frank shrugged, glanced left, then right, pulled out a pair of folded bills, and offered them. "Nope, boss says no way you're coming in." Frank leaned in. "Hey, you gonna make me do this again? Come on, guys." They both stood, unmoving. Frank shrugged, stuffed the bills back in his pocket, then turned to go. But instead of leaving, his avatar planted a foot and chopped back with his hand to the throat of the nearest guard. He stumbled back, grasping at his neck, eyes bulging, and fell. The other guard lunged for Frank, who easily sidestepped and shoved him into the road. The guard stumbled for a second, then a passing bus struck him. Like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, he stuck to the front of the bus, arms and legs splayed as it continued down the road. Satisfied with this more violent version of the VR program, Frank's avatar snapped his lapels and walked into the club. As he did, men and women both froze and turned with mixed looks of fear and desire. He snapped his fingers and they resumed their debauchery. He walked to the bar, tapped a finger, and a glass appeared. He downed a drink, turned to eye the club, and reveled in his sea of Sims, indulging their lurid virtual proclivities. Thank you and salute.